The email popped up while I was drafting contracts at my home office, a cramped corner of my roach-infested apartment on Chalmers Street in Atlanta's Old Fourth Ward. We regret to inform you that your maintenance request for pest control is still under review. Please allow 7 to 10 business days for a response. My eyes narrowed, but my fingers didn't pause on the keyboard. I didn't flinch as a cockroach skittered across the baseboard. My voice stayed steady as I called my paralegal to confirm a court filing. The only sign that my slumlord Pinnacle properties had just pushed me one step closer to war was a slight smirk curling my lip. I waited until I'd sent my last brief, the Roach now hiding under my printer, before typing back. Noted. Please expedite. My name is Nia Reynolds, and at 37, I'm a lawyer who knows Atlanta's housing code like I know my own heartbeat. When I moved into this overpriced luxury loft and found it crawling with roaches, I didn't panic. I planned. I'd spotted the red flags early. The leasing agent, a slick-talking bro named Chad, had rushed me through the tour, glossing over the faint musty smell and the minor pest issue he claimed was normal for city living. I'd signed the lease anyway, fresh off a breakup and needing a quick move. But 3 days in, when I flipped on the kitchen light and saw a roach conga line on my counter, I knew I'd been played. I filed my first maintenance request that night, then another, and another. Pinnacle's responses were either vague or non-existent, each delay a middle finger to my $2,200 a month rent. 2 weeks in, I'd had enough. I'm a tenants' rights attorney, for God's sake. I don't play with slumlords. I started building my exit strategy. First, I requested a mutual release form from Pinnacle's property manager, Denise, a woman with a fake smile and a knack for dodging emails. I laid it out clean. Let's part ways amicably, no fuss. I mentioned the roaches, the ignored maintenance requests, and even offered to hook them up with a new tenant through my network. Win-win, right? I figured they'd jump at the chance to avoid a legal headache. Spoiler, they didn't. Denise took a month to respond, during which I wasn't twiddling my thumbs. I'd already consulted 2 colleagues, both sharks in landlord-tenant law, who found a gem in Atlanta's housing code, a loophole allowing tenants to break a lease without penalty if the landlord fails to address uninhabitable conditions, like pest infestations, within 14 days of written notice. Better yet, if I sued, Pinnacle would owe my attorney's fees and back rent, turning my $700 legal fee into a profit. Checkmate was loading. When Denise finally emailed back, her tone dripping with condescension, I couldn't help but laugh. Dear Miss Reynolds, we decline your mutual release proposal. Per your lease, early termination requires payment of a $5,000 break lease fee. Let us know how you'd like to proceed. You dumb clowns. You absolute amateurs. If I ask for something nice, take it the first time, because I've got a dozen evil backup plans in my briefcase. I replied, cool as ice. I do not agree to the break lease fee. Denise fired back. I'll inform Pinnacle of your disapproval. Disapproval? Oh honey, you have no idea. Unbeknownst to her, I'd already wired $700 to my colleague Lena, who filed the lawsuit that same day. Why pay $5,000 to break a lease when I could sue for free and get paid? Pinnacle was about to learn who they were messing with. My phone didn't buzz with panic. My hands didn't shake as I packed my files. The roaches? They were Pinnacle's problem now. While Denise and her bosses were probably chuckling over their gotcha fee, I was orchestrating their downfall. I'd also tipped off the city building inspector's office, slipping them photos of the roach nests, moldy vents, and cracked pipes I'd documented since day one. They launched an investigation, and I made sure to play tour guide when the inspector showed up, pointing out every violation like I was hosting an HGTV special. Pinnacle was slapped with a $10,000 fine and a formal citation, which by law, they'd have to disclose to future tenants. Good luck renting this dump without slashing the price to pennies. I was driving into the sunset, while Pinnacle scrambled to clean up the mess they'd made. The signs of their incompetence had been there from the jump. Chad's fast-talking tour. Denise's, we're working on it, emails. The way Pinnacle's website boasted premium living, while their maintenance guy Tony showed up once, sprayed some dollar store bug killer, and called it a day. A month into my lease, I'd started logging every roach sighting, every unanswered request, every dodge. I'd saved every email, time-stamped every call, even recorded Tony muttering, "This place been bad for years," when he thought I wasn't listening. My evidence folder was thicker than a law school textbook. When I sent that mutual release request, I wasn't begging. I was giving them an out. They chose the hard way. My phone pinged with another email from Denise. "Miss Reynolds, failure to pay the break lease fee will result in legal action." I cackled, forwarding it to Lena. "Legal action? Oh baby, you're about to get served like Sunday brunch." I didn't respond. Instead, I called my cousin Trey, a real estate agent with a nose for deals. "Find me a new spot," I said. "Something fly, no roaches." He laughed. "Girl, you still in that bug motel? I told you Pinnacle was shady." "Yeah, well, they're about to regret it," I said, sipping a glass of rosé I'd saved for a win. This qualified. The morning Lena filed the lawsuit, I was at my new office, a sleek co-working space I'd leased to escape the Roach vibes. My phone buzzed with a text from Trey. "Found you a dope loft in Midtown. Rooftop views, no pests. You in?" I grinned, typing back, "Set it up." Life moves on, even when your landlord thinks they've got you trapped. Around noon, Lena called, her voice all business. "Pinnacle's been served, they're freaking out." Denise emailed me demanding a meeting. "Want to play nice or let it ride?" "Let it ride," I said, adjusting a stack of contracts. They had their chance. Lena chuckled. "Oh, and the city's report just dropped. Pinnacle's got 30 days to fix 17 violations, or they're facing more fines. Your photos sealed it." I smirked, thinking of the inspector's face when I showed him the Roach graveyard under my sink. Pinnacle's luxury facade was crumbling, and I was holding the sledgehammer. By afternoon, my old neighbor, Miss Law Carla, a no-see but sweet retiree, texted me. "Girl, Pinnacle's maintenance crew is here fumbling trying to spray for roaches." "Too late," I laughed, forwarding the text to Lena. Pinnacle was scrambling, but the lawsuit was already in motion. The loophole my colleagues found was airtight. Georgia's housing code required landlords to maintain habitable conditions, and Pinnacle's failure to address the infestation within 14 days of my first request voided the lease. Better yet, their negligence triggered a clause entitling me to back rent, attorney's fees, and damages. My $700 investment was about to yield a 5-figure payout, including the $2,200 I'd paid for 3 months of Roach roulette. Checkmate, indeed. A week after the lawsuit dropped, my cousins threw a cookout at Trey's spot in East Atlanta, a vibe with ribs on the grill, a spades table popping, and trap music bumping. I was mid-bite of potato salad when Nikki, my loudest cousin, pulled me aside. "Nia, you really suing Pinnacle?" Denise called Trey, acting like you're the villain for not paying their fee. I snorted, sipping my drink. "They thought I'd cough up $5,000 to break a Roach lease. I'm getting paid to leave." Trey overheard, jumping in with his comedian energy. "Yo, Pinnacle out here thinking they slick, but Nia's playing 4D chess." The yard cracked up, my aunties fanning themselves, kids stealing extra ribs. Nikki got serious. "We should have warned you about Pinnacle. They've been scamming folks in the ward for years." "No sweat," I said. "They're learning now." My cousin Marcus, who'd leased from Pinnacle before, chimed in. "Denise tried to hit me with a $3,000 fee when I moved out. I paid it like a sucker." "You really about to take their whole bag?" "And then some," I said, clinking my glass with his. Trey raised his beer. "To Nia, the lawyer who don't play. Pinnacle's about to eat Roach dust." The crew cheered and I felt the love. Family, real ones who'd ride for me. Later, Nikki showed me a text from Denise, begging Trey to talk sense into me. "She's shook," Nikki said. "You got 'em rattled." I grinned, dancing to a Megan Thee Stallion track as the sun set. Pinnacle could beg, but I was already gone. A month later, the lawsuit hit the blogs. A local tenants' rights group caught wind and posted about it on X, tagging Pinnacle. "Slumlord alert, Pinnacle Properties sued for Roach-infested loft. Tenant Nia Reynolds, a lawyer, exposes their scam. Atlanta housing." The post blew up, racking up 20,000 likes and 5,000 retweets. Tenants from other Pinnacle buildings chimed in, sharing horror stories of leaks, mold, and ignored complaints. By noon, #Pinnacle Roachgate was trending. I was at Kick Vibe. Yep, I'm a sneakerhead, and Simone's store was my spot, trying on a pair of Air Maxes when my phone blew up with notifications. Lena texted, "You're viral." Pinnacle's PR team is in shambles. I laughed, forwarding her a screenshot of Denise's latest email. "Miss Reynolds, we're open to discussing a settlement. Please reconsider. Too late, sis. The court date was set, and their violations were public record. I bought the Air Maxes, feeling like I was walking on Pinnacle's dreams. That evening, I met Miss Carla for coffee. She'd moved out too, inspired by my fight. Girl, I told the news about Pinnacle's roaches, she said, sipping her latte. They're doing a whole expose. I raised my cup. To slumlords getting smoked, she cackled. You're a hero, Nia. My new place is clean, thanks to you. I shrugged, just doing my job. But inside I was glowing. Pinnacle's rep was tanking, and I was the match that lit the fire. I started volunteering with a tenants' rights clinic, where I met Aaliyah, a 24-year-old graphic designer renting from a Pinnacle knockoff. She was sharp but stressed, dealing with a landlord who ignored her broken AC. My man says I'm overreacting, that we should just deal, she told me at a workshop. But I'm paying $1,800 for a sauna. I flashed back to Jermaine's, "You're paranoid" shade from the Kick Vibe story. Your man's wrong, I said. Document everything, emails, texts, photos, then hit him with a demand letter. She blinked, nervous. What if they sue me? I smirked. Let 'em try. You've got rights. I walked her through the housing code, helped her draft a letter, and connected her with Lena. A month later, Aaliyah's landlord fixed the AC and refunded 2 months' rent, scared of her lawsuit threat. She showed up at the clinic with a grin, holding a new lease for a better spot. You changed my life, Nia. I dumped my man too. He was siding with the landlord. I laughed. Good. Keep your bag and your standards. Aaliyah started interning at the clinic, passing out my flyers like a disciple. Watching her glow felt like passing the torch, another sister dodging a trap. The court date was a Tyler Perry movie scene. I strolled in, tailored blazer popping, Lena by my side. Denise was there, sweating in a cheap pantsuit with Pinnacle's lawyer, a flustered white dude who kept shuffling papers. The judge, a no-nonsense sister, eyed my evidence. Photos of roach nests, emails from Denise dodging requests, the city's violation report. Lena laid it out. Pinnacle's failure to address the infestation violated Georgia's housing code, entitling Miss Reynolds to break her lease, recover back rent, and claim attorney's fees. Pinnacle's lawyer stammered. My client offered a break lease option, but Miss Reynolds refused. A $5,000 fee for an uninhabitable unit? Lena shot back. That's extortion, not a deal. I leaned back, watching Denise squirm. The judge wasn't playing. Miss Reynolds provided ample notice of the issue. Pinnacle's inaction is indefensible. She ruled in my favor. Lease terminated, $6,600 in back rent, $700 in attorney's fees, and $2,000 in damages. Pinnacle's lawyer tried to protest, but the judge shut him down. Your client can appeal, but I'd advise against it. Outside, Denise avoided my eyes as she hustled to her car. I called Trey from the courthouse steps. Book that Midtown loft. I'm coming home. 6 months later, Pinnacle was a ghost. The Pinnacle Roachgate fallout tanked their rentals. 3 buildings sat half empty, their rent slashed by 40%. The city hit them with another $15,000 fine for new violations, and the expose Ms. Carla sparked ran on local news, complete with my lawsuit details, anonymized, but I knew. I was chilling in my new loft, rooftop views sparkling, when Lena texted, Pinnacle's filing for bankruptcy. You broke 'em. I laughed, forwarding it to Trey. Told you they'd regret it. Kick Vibe threw a pop-up at my new spot and Simone herself stopped by, rocking Simone ones. Nia, you're a legend, she said, handing me a custom pair. Slumlords and X's, same vibe, different scam. I grinned, and we stay winning. Aaliyah became a regular at the clinic, now running her own tenant workshops. Miss Carla sent me a Christmas card from her new place, Roach free. Pinnacle's old tenants started a class action suit using my case as a blueprint. I didn't join, I'd already cashed my check, but I cheered from the sidelines. Denise? Word was she got fired, last seen managing a strip mall office. Pinnacle's collapse wasn't my goal, but it felt like karma. They thought they could play me. Instead, I played the game. 2 years later, I spoke at a housing rights conference, not about roaches, but about fighting back. A woman asked about shady landlords. My ex-landlord called me difficult for demanding repairs, I said. Then they tried to charge me $5,000 to leave a roach nest. Trust your gut. Document everything. My firm took on more tenant cases, and Aaliyah joined as a paralegal, her hustle unstoppable. At the clinic's 5-year gala, Trey raised a toast. To Nia, the queen who turned roaches into riches. I caught my reflection in the venue's window, not a tenant fighting but a lawyer thriving. Pinnacle's scam was supposed to trap me. Instead, it launched my legacy. Every case, every win was proof. The best revenge isn't getting even, it's getting everything.